Hey everybody, in this video we're going to talk about images and how you can import images, use them to create something like this. In this thing I've just kind of downloaded an image from the internet and now I've set it as my cursor. And there's really like kind of three major parts of this that I'm going to go over in this video explaining kind of how this would work. Actually maybe four parts, I'll add in a fourth part. And I can show you the code. The code will be linked into the YouTube and be kind of a little circular loop here. But yeah, so I'll kind of start with the code. JavaDraw has an option to import images. Same way that you can treat it very similarly to how you would treat like a rectangle or an oval. It has a lot of the same methods in there, and it's really pretty easy to import. And so all I've done here is I've just imported an image called java.ping. I found it online. I'm going to show you how in just a minute. And I made this a global variable. And then this is the whole, let's see, okay, I guess first I had to drag that file just literally off my computer. I dragged it into this folder, it added it, no problem. And now what I need to do is when I set up an image file, I need to go into Java as equal to new image, screen, same as always, and then this has to be the file name. And so src is our folder here, so we say src, it's in this folder, and this is the name of the file. And this is just the position that it's at to begin with. One thing that I found was actually like, so if I cut this part out, if I just run that right like this, I get a really huge giant Java thing, which actually isn't too bad with my big screen that I've set up here. But if I want to make this a little bit smaller, I can treat this just like a rectangle object, and I can change its width. So in this case, I changed it just for visibility purposes. I changed it to 200. And so let's see how that looks. I think it's probably pretty close. A little bit smaller, though, you can see. Okay, so I set the height and width like that. Okay, so that kind of covers two things already. I imported an image. I was able to set the height and width. And then I guess really the last part, well, I want to talk to you a little bit about kind of how to get an image, because that seems like a kind of an easy thing, but there's actually some tricks I can give you. But before I do that, like this is just how I get the thing to actually follow my mouse. I set mouse move, I run the method mouse move, and I say Java is the name of my image, center on my location, and it's going to center that image right on my location and kind of move around like that. Let's see. Okay, so the one other thing that I did want to show you was how to find like an image, because I know that seems like a dumb thing, but it's actually like can be a little bit, there's good and bad ways of doing it. So I did Java last time. Let me do Python here. Oh, Python. Okay, so great. We're going to have a bunch of Python images in here. I guess we could do logo in here if we were going to see that. Oh, and actually, this is actually, it popped up with a transparent, because that's really what you want. Because you'll notice in my image, the Java, like, you could see what was behind it. And that's because the image was marked as transparent, which means that only the kind of details that we want to see are there. Otherwise, you might get a big kind of, if you take in a normal image, it might be a big kind of rectangular object where, like, there's some kind of background that's obscuring your frame, which probably is not what you want. If you don't see this option, so transparent is the way to kind of find this. If you don't see that option pop up, you can go into Tools, go into Color, and select Transparent. And that will highlight only the ones that are going to, have that kind of clear background behind it. And then we can just download one of these images and use it in our code. So we're going to save the image and then just kind of drop it into our code. And that's it. We have images in our file.